guys, welcome yet again to another episode of Gosu Tekken TV. My name is David, aka ldmaxi, and with me I have Fergus, aka Fergus. Hey man,
Hey, how you doing, guys? How you doing?
welcome again.
Yeah,
So
hi.
yeah, so we're gonna do some more match analysis.
Oh God.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, Kane. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we gotta do it.
If you're watching this, please don't hate me. But I think it's a really good match.
Yeah, Kane, if you're watching this and you wanna come on the show and do some commentary on a match where Fergus is losing, you're always welcome. Just message me and we'll make it happen. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna share my screen. So some background here for the viewers. What are we watching?
So we're watching KaneAndTrench, one of Europe's best periods, against Komanda, who's an upcoming Oscar player in America. And when this match was happening, a lot of people thought Kane should have this because he plays against me a lot. And I would be maybe a notable Asga maybe. And he definitely has the Asga practice. So, but personally, I think I messed him up for this matchup because I play a lot more aggressive and wilder than Komanda does. Komanda played super patiently and really well, and I'm a bit more party and wilder than he would be. So I think Kane just wasn't ready for this sudden shift in playstyle from two different Asgas.
Yeah,
So,
and I mean also traveling abroad and being in a new environment and there's a lot of stuff.
This is his first American tournament.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like Tekken Tour Finals, but this will be his first proper tournament. Not just like an 8-man bracket or whatever, a 60-man bracket. A proper tournament.
And not taking anything away from Komanda, of course, because
no, of course he's super good. I talked to him a few times already. He's really strong. He's definitely upcoming.
Yeah. Okay, let's stop chatting. Let's start watching.
Yes.
So you watched this match live, right?
I watched it live, yes. And I was thinking, Kane, please.
Oh, okay, you were really rooting for him.
Kinda I was conflicted because Kane was behind me in points.
Oh.
As a friend, I wanted him to win. As a Tekken player, I didn't want him. You know what I mean? It's Tekken World Tour, man. It does this to you. It makes you root against your own friends.
Oh man, it's horrible.
It is actually. It's horrible, man. It was a normal tournament, there's no points on line or anything. Go Kane all the way,
Yeah.
But then because I need him behind me in points, I'm low key, Kane, please lose.
So at what rank is Kane right now?
I believe he's 21, 22 right now.
Oh, he's just at the edge. It's just top 20,
just at the
right?
edge, yeah. So he needs to have a little bit of a miracle over the next 1 or 2 events for him to come back.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but you can see Komanda's style is so different to mine. He waits for stuff more and he does a bit more keep at launchers in a way. More done for twos, which is something I need to do myself actually.
Okay. So are you learning something by watching here?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely taking stuff from him. See, he's just ready for all the kind of desperate stuff that Kane is trying.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Kane should be winning this set. Nothing to take away from Komanda, but I think there's just something off about his play during this weekend because this is not the Kane I know.
No, okay.
This is not the Kane I know.
What do you think of this matchup? Yoshimitsu versus Asuka.
I think Asuka does well, and it's it's not bad or anything.
You played a lot with Kane, right?
We do. We played we met in tournaments so many times, at least 6 or 7 times at this point, and we do play a lot of casuals as well. So that's why I'm thinking he should have this because he knows this matchup. But then I see this happening, I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he had a really good second match after this. Yeah, see, Komanda kind of partied a little bit at the wall, which I saw myself in. But yeah, he's really feeling himself. I'm like, Kane, what are you doing? I was tempted to text him and be like, Kane,
Kane,
WT,
get a grip.
Kane, or
Yeah.
like this guy's ready to kill something, man.
Yeah.
Mm.
What's the
Yeah.
score usually between you and Kane?
Um, recently, I've been doing a little bit better recently, but most of the time it's been kind of his favor in tournaments. But recently, I've been coming at an edge on top a little bit.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I was like really impressed with Kane. The first time I saw him was in the tournament with Knee, which was, really.
Oh, at Germany, yeah,
Yeah,
that was his day. That was definitely his day.
yeah, it was playing really. It was very
Like
interesting.
that's it. Definitely put Europe on the map. So we're all very proud of Kane for doing that for us.
Definitely. Yeah,
Mm.
and it's so cool to see him play this character. It's the kind of character that I think a lot of people would love to play if they could play him at a high level because it's such a cool character.
Yeah, like especially the way he plays Yoshi. Like he plays Yoshi very clean and solid and very fundamental heavy.
Yeah.
Except for this part, except for that sequence right
Yeah,
there.
that's just crazy.
But usually, quite solid. Like even Nee said himself in the interview after the match, he's like, "I've never played a Yoshimitsu who played like that ever."
Mm,
So it speaks volumes by Kane's play style, and he makes it work.
yeah.
Of course, he can party if he needs to, but for the most part, he plays pretty clean.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And it's always a very nice compliment when you see Nee playing your character a few days after on stream. Because he was just the few days after the tournament, he was playing Yoshimitsu.
Probably inspired by Kane then.
Yeah, but Nee usually does that. I don't know if you've noticed it. Like, he will go to a tournament or something, and then if he loses to Jack, then he'll play like Jack for the whole next week or or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, just preparation, isn't it?
Yeah,
It shows that he's a top player in that way.
yeah, it's like it's all about like learning the same character that he's having trouble with or that he recently played against and stuff like that.
For sure, yeah. I mean, it's one of the reasons why he's a top player for sure.
So what were you thinking here? Did you think that Kane was kind of
Yeah, I was
turning this
thinking
around or?
Kane is really strong adaptation. I was thinking, okay, he's comfortable now. He should have it. I don't know what happened in the last match, but he should be good now. But Komanda is very strong. Like probably the best Oscar in America right now.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's one other guy called Drum FX from Atlanta, but I don't know if he's active really. But even then, I think Komanda will have the edge over him anyway.
Okay.
There's like a little pop off after this. You'll see when it happens. I was like, see, his whip punchman's like really clean. Like he plays his character pretty clean, which this is definitely something I need to do myself.
Oh, wow.
And that's the Kane special. Plus frames into the first race strike opportunity he gets.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
He does. He burns it as soon as he has it.
So
And we're like,
it's good because it creates this distance, right? That's the kind of the point of it, to get out of the wall, right?
yeah, and it's just like get plus frames and then do it as a frame trap. If you guess wrong and they press nothing, you still have plus frames to work with anyway.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a good kind of option selecting, covers a lot of things at once.
Mm.
Like win-win situation.
Hey, something I noticed from watching Summer Jam was that so many people are starting to play the hitbox, the stick with the buttons.
Yeah, personally, I don't like it, to be honest,
No?
because it definitely has for backdashing. It definitely has like a clear advantage for it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't say it's cheating, but I do think it's a bit of unfair advantage.
Shouldn't it like be the next thing for people to progress to? Just as people went from pad to stick, now people will have to learn to play the hitbox.
I think from pad to stick, like it is just purely preference. Like I don't think there's much difference, to be honest. But going from either those two into hitbox, there is definitely like a change.
Yeah, it's a very different way of playing, but I think it makes sense. I mean, now that Tekken is on PC, like we will probably end up playing on keyboards.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I know a lot of like keyboard players just like I'll just use hitbox instead.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think it's very interesting just to see what's Like, why didn't anyone think of this a few years ago? Like, because we've had Tekken for a long time.
I think recently there's something new called like a mix box or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like I don't know what it's like the buttons,
from a
but also
keyboard.
like a
Yeah,
D-pad
yeah,
kind of thing. It's like the WASD notation, right?
yeah.
For the directions and then the buttons.
So this is what I think happened when it came to PC.
Mm,
So many people bought the game, but they never had a pad or a stick or anything. So they were
hmm
just like, let's just learn how to play on a keyboard.
hmm
And then it was like, yeah, I need better buttons. So then the kind of like demand for a hitbox showed up out of nowhere.
mm.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
see,
Kane is looking.
yeah, you're thinking how like what how but to be fair, Commander played this matchup perfectly in my opinion.
Yeah. What
And
how would you play against Yoshi? Like what do you
uh,
think Komanda is doing here that's so good?
he's just being really patient because Yoshi doesn't really have good ways to open people up. See, he tried to punish them for two there, but he was too late. But yeah, Yoshi wants to like just get counter hits on you because he doesn't really have much else to work with. But okay, okay, it's the pop off.
Number one Asuka. No,
One of
that's
one
not
Oscar.
good.
I think that was directed at me, but it's like none of us are number one anyway, so it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
exactly.
But it's good. I mean, it's we know each other, man. It's all love. It's all love.
Yeah,
We know each other.
cool.
Yeah, it's all love. It's all love. Kind of.
Kind of. So now that we have you here on the episode, tell us a bit about the European scene, because most people that are watching this are actually, when I look at the statistics and stuff, people are actually from the US and from the Philippines,
Mm.
which was a bit of a surprise for me why there would be so many people from the Philippines. But apparently the Tekken scene there is really, really big. Uh, Either that or I'm just very popular in the Philippines for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, they have like a big arcade scene there, as far as I know.
Yeah, I saw some pictures from a tournament not so long ago, and it was
Yeah.
like,
I
wow.
believe it's still playing arcades to this day, I think. But the European Tekken scene, it's kind of weird because at the top we do have Tishimon. He would be like really consistent. He would have won most of the tournaments he entered here, but so he would beat everyone in Europe but one, which is Super Kuma.
Right.
Like it is such a weird situation to me because Super Kuma beats Tishimon, but Tishimon would beat everyone else, and Super Kuma could lose to those same people as well. You know, like
Yeah.
because I think so for like top 10 or top 5, whatever, Tishimon, and then after Tishimon, it's like a very large pool of players that could interchange in there very easily. So, in my opinion, it's hard to say who would be like the top tier players because it's like Tishimon and then
Yeah. It's
50
the kind
plutonium.
of classic rock paper scissor thing between the
Exactly,
players,
it's
kind of.
super player based heavy. Like player A beats player B, but loses C, but C beats A, blah blah blah. You know, so
Yeah.
it's hard to pin then who is the most consistent. But if I had to say, be Tishimon and then Supakuma. No order, obviously, no order. But
Yeah.
with Tishman being number one, but the rest in order. Supakuma, KaneAndTrench, Asum, uh, maybe myself, go number results, maybe. And then there's loads of people like Double Kazuya, Seppi Black, like again, like all one group. So could go to 2, go to 5, go to 3, blah blah blah, whatever. Uh,
That's so cool because it's that list is very different from when I was active, which was a long time ago.
what
But
Tekken 5 or 6 is it?
I did play up to DR, and
Mm.
then during Tekken 6 I moved to Korea, so I kind of lost touch with the European scene
Ah,
and
okay.
all that was happening. But I was playing, but I didn't really understand like how the top scene looked. But in those days, Tishamon was playing in those days, and he
He
was,
was, yeah.
yeah, and he was of
I
course
think
very
back
good.
then, Europe with Reinhardt,
Yeah.
Malekith, Mikio Comanche, I think.
Uh,
I don't
yeah,
know. I don't know if Bode back then
Yeah.
was we playing Ricky Mario, I think, or that was Tekken 6 only maybe.
Yeah, and actually it was so I gotta take this opportunity to tell you about this weird thing. It was like, and he's probably watching now, but here in Stockholm, Sweden, we were like, we had this kind of like fighting game association
Hmm.
where we could get people to come and play. And I don't remember exactly how, but we found like two brothers that were playing, and they lived kind of like in the suburbs, and they had been playing each other since they were like small kids. Like
Sure.
he had been playing the younger brother. He had been playing Tekken since he was like 3 or something. It's like ridiculous. And he was, and when we met them, it was so weird because they were like abnormally good for not having played offline against other opponent. Like they had only been playing against their friends that came over, but it was like they were so good, and you know, and we instantly knew that this was at a kind of like top European level, kind of like that. So maybe some of your viewers have figured out who I'm talking about, but I'm talking about the Emperor.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Emperor and Lewis.
Yeah.
Uh,
So when we met those guys, they had never played offline against like a bigger community or something
mhm.
like that. We met them at a tournament, actually, if I remember. Ah, it's so long ago, but yeah, we started playing with them and like that. But that was just such a weird thing to having found them like that. And then afterwards, I started when I was kind of like following the news from Korea. Then I saw that he was doing well in Europe and
Yeah, he's like one of the top players, wasn't he, for sure?
yeah, and I
I think.
just yeah, you go.
Oh, sorry. I think he's like kind of stopped playing, or he's not so active anymore, or at least I don't see him outside of Sweden or wherever. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what happened. We lost touch. I spoke with his brother Luis, just very shortly, just some weeks ago. And sometimes because Stockholm is not that big, I just run into him like on the streets and
Oh, that's sick.
like, kind of like
Oh,
that.
oh, you're from Stockholm yourself, also.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Ah, very, very good.
Stockholm, Sweden. So so that was just a very weird thing, because we had been playing Tekken for a very long time without finding them, and
And then here they are,
yeah,
just show up and doorstep kind of thing.
and that they were at such a good level. It was, yeah, really impressive. I think that was cool.
But that's cool. It's nice to find like just hidden talents like that. Keep, pump up the scene and introduce some new blood and competition. And
Yeah, and it makes you think like how many people are still like that. Like how
exactly, yeah,
many
that's what I'm doing in Ireland. I'm like scavenging now, see if there's any hidden beasts out there. Just make the community bigger and level up more. And I mean, that's what everyone wants in the end, right?
Yeah. What would you say to people that are at home and they're not coming to tournaments and they're not like
Um, I just think, I don't know. I'm sure everyone has their own reasons for not going to tournaments. Maybe it's like they don't have anyone. I think a big one is they don't have anyone to go with, so they don't want to go to an event full of strangers and like, especially if they're a bit more shy or quiet as a person. So they might not want to go to events just by themselves. Because I know if I wouldn't have went to the anime convention, joined the tournament if I didn't have my group of friends from school with me. You
yeah.
know, so if all fails, I could just hang around with them. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think that would be one thing. I think.
it can be a
Uh,
bit intimidating at first, like because you have all these like misconceptions of what a tournament is, and you could think that it's a very hostile environment or whatever, when
yeah,
you're very new.
never is the case really, like, or shouldn't be the case ever anyway.
Right.
Like at least in Ireland, it's super welcoming. So if
Yeah.
anyone's in Ireland watching this, just come to my like I host house sessions here every so often
Oh, at your place.
at my place. Yeah,
Ah, okay.
my living room is basically the Irish Tekken scene. So
Is
like,
is it that small?
uh, well, I can fit about 10 to 15 in there.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like we can have like a big proper session, like, and then some people stay overnight. Like I live in Dublin, which is like the capital, and for most scenes, fighting games, it will be based there. But for Tekken, it's kind of funny because most of the people players are actually outside of Dublin, like out in the Midlands, out in the West, up in the North. So I'm like one of the very few from Dublin itself.
Okay.
So I would help them over, and they'll stay overnight, and we just get booze, order pizza, and just play Tekken. It's usually fun. Like it's good fun, like big
Yeah.
social meeting, and just level up a bit off each other.
Yeah, yeah. I love when that kind of like dynamic happens when you just like start hanging out and it's just so
Yeah, it's
natural to
just
just stay at each other's place and all that stuff.
exactly yeah.
And it's kind of fun because when you're growing up and you're doing this, it all seems so kind of normal to you.
Yeah,
But
I've
yeah.
been doing this for 10 years now, so it's like new fighting game comes, just play it, whatever, make my judgment, move on. You
Yeah.
know, and like you play way longer than me, but in my case in Ireland, it's like I've seen people come and go, and I've seen fighting games rise and fall, and I've
Yeah.
seen developments through like esports and like Twitch definitely helped like the whole FGC up and YouTube and social media growing as a thing and
Yeah.
so on. So it's cool to see all these developments happen over the last while.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's so cool to see
I'm
all
sure it's
this.
more extreme in your case. Like you've been playing like probably 10 years longer than I have anyway.
When I started playing at the end of Tekken 3,
Mm.
beginning of Tag 1,
Yeah,
and
that's way longer than me.
but you know when I got into it, I thought like, man, I got in too late. Like I missed the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
it was kind of like that because okay, I kind of understood that the game had been very different since Tekken 2 because of the whole side step and backdash and all
And
these kind
wall
of yeah
introduction and stuff.
wave dash and all that stuff, you know.
Mm.
So I understood that Tekken 1 and Tekken 2 were very similar, and I understood that Tekken 3 and Tekken Tag were very similar.
Mhm.
And I kind of felt like, man, what if I had started at the beginning of Tekken 3 or even earlier? Then I would have had like I wouldn't have had to like catch up like this.
Yeah, it is such a legacy game. Like the whole series was so legacy. I think Tekken 7 kind of brought new fresh starts. Like they cut off a lot of characters, they introduced new mechanics, they maybe evens or lessens the skill gap a little bit.
Yeah.
Because like everyone does so much damage, and then rage drives are like the big comeback thing, and uh, the game looks amazing,
Yeah,
aesthetic wise, looks really good. So it's good as a spectator game, and encourages people to get into the game. And
definitely.
because of all the whole social media like Twitter and YouTube these days, with so much content out there, if you want to learn like character tutorials, game mechanic tutorials, and so on, and there's a lot of like personalities in the scene that does this kind of stuff, like Aris,
Yeah.
those kind of guys, like so they really help new people get into the scene.
Yeah. I think everything is kind of like set up to make it a success.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Like it's definitely needed, and Discords as well. This Discord thing's new in
yeah,
like the last year or two. Everyone has like character Discords, and they talk about stuff in there and get feedback back, and just talk about the character strategies and so on.
definitely. Yeah, a lot of stuff is happening right now,
Mm.
and it's just very, and it's happening so fast that it's just very entertaining to just sit
Yeah,
back, relax, and kind of enjoy it. I mean, I can do it. You have to compete, and you have to
yeah. I have
travel
to.
everything.
I'm here. Season 2's coming out in 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
The day after that, there's a season 1 tournament,
yeah.
and I'm like, am I gonna prepare for this?
So
Because
what are your thoughts about the season 2? Like, what are you hoping to see? Like balance changes and stuff like that.
like the changes could be good or it could be bad. But the main thing to take from it is that Namco's shown interest in prolonging the game. In my opinion, that's the most important part.
Hmm.
Because with Tide 2, it was like, okay, release on console, that's it. We're done.
Yeah,
But with Tekken 7, they're actively pumping content into the game and they're changing the game up a bit. So in my opinion, that's really good because it shows that they will keep the game alive for however long they want it to.
yeah,
So and like because like we don't want to see another year of Jack Kazumi, Dragunov finals, blah blah blah. So I think it's really good to spice up the game. So that's definitely the most important thing to take from it.
definitely.
The changes themselves, I don't think wall bends will change much. It'll make some moves a little bit better. Like it'll make the risk reward of some moves a little bit better. So, but I don't think it'll change too much. It'll make the game more interesting to watch because it looks pretty cool. They're
Yeah,
just wall bends and then you resplock them with some weird move and then you do wall combo. Uh, I think Michael Murray said the changes will be out tomorrow. As of today, is a Tuesday. Tomorrow, and he said it was like 1,600 lines of he had to translate through. So to me, that suggests a lot of changes happening.
Yeah.
And he says, I don't know if it's him, but someone said it was mostly buffs. So I think season 2 is just going to be crazy. Like everyone's going to be good. Everyone's going to have cheap stuff. It's almost going to be like an older Tekken in a way.
Yeah.
Like I think Tai 2 is fairly balanced move wise. Tekken 7's a bit crazy. Tekken 6, I don't know, but too much for Tekken 6, but I heard it's really crazy as well.
Tekken
And
6.0 was insane. Like,
Bob. Tekken 5 was crazy as well. Everyone had cheap stuff.
Yeah.
I think Tekken 7 Season 2 is kind of going towards older Tekkens, or just give everyone all these mad moves and properties and just see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I really wonder what Namco's main focus is to make it more exciting to watch or easier to play or just
I think just introduce more character variety in tournaments, because like a lot of people can play it's like especially like JDCR versus Saints and Jack versus Dragunov, and everyone's like kind of fed up with it, like seeing the same matchup and same players over and over again. So I think they want to change that up, maybe get some new players. Like if someone comes in with their super buffed character and starts doing well, and see more of him or her, or just see new characters, like people switching to different characters and because their character got nerfed and this new character got buffed or whatever.
Yeah.
So just spice up the game, spice up tournaments. I mean, it's money in the end.
Yeah. I mean, Namco has all the data, but I would suggest, I would suspect that whenever there's a new character, that brings in a lot of people because old people kind of want to try the new character, and maybe people that weren't interested in any of the characters get a chance.
I think Lei and Anna are both very good characters to add into the roster, because especially Lei, because there was always like a void of where not having Lei in the game was just so weird. Because
it's not Tekken. It's in a way it's
Jackie Chan. He should be in the game. He's Lei. Like Anna would be less so, but I think there's like a certain demographic that definitely wants Anna back in the game.
Yeah, definitely. I think she has a cool personality. She's unique, and I think she has more personality than Nina.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. Like she's my favorite of the two sisters for sure.
Yeah, even though like Nina has her own game and she's in every intro and everywhere, it's still like, yeah, okay, you're a blonde. That's about it. That's like I don't get your story,
Yeah, I definitely like when Anna comes out, I definitely will like put a lot of time into her, like make content and focus on her and so on.
Yeah.
And Negan, personally, I love Negan.
Yeah. I just look so much forward to watching people play that character.
Because I'm a huge fan of the franchise. Like I have the comics in my wardrobe up
here.
Oh,
okay.
I'm up to date on the games and the shows. I love the franchise. When Negan was revealed, I was more excited for him than I was for Anna.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, it's mostly out of shocks, like, wait, what, Negan? Because up to that point, we went from, characters from fighting games. So Kuma, Geese.
Yeah.
Character from another video game. Okay, Noctis.
Yeah.
So, okay, sure.
Makes sense.
And then the character from outside that world completely. We're delving into TV shows, into pop culture. Negan.
Yeah.
So everyone's just kind of lost their shit, really. So like it just opens up a whole new realm of possibility of what the next character is going to be, because it literally could be anyone at this point.
I think next one is gonna be like Donald Trump.
Maybe. Exactly right. It could be anyone at this point. Probably could be a celebrity at this point.
Yeah, like Kim Kardashian or something.
I wish.
Yeah, like imagine if they had like a soccer player or something. Imagine how many people would play.
Like you joke, but it really could be the possibility. It could be possible.
Oh man, they should have like UFC fighters like Conor McGregor.
Oh, I have to play him. Of course, I have to play him then. And after.
That would be so cool. But yeah.
So yeah, anything's possible at this point because of Negan.
Yeah, cool. So I mean, as a Tekken fan and as a regular casual Tekken player, these updates are cool. But what about for you guys that are competing? Isn't it like, whoa, like I'm competing in like 4 days and this whole new game came out today,
Yeah, I think it's really weird that they did season 2 mid Tekken Motor, Because at least with CPT Capcom Pro Tour, do wait for the season to finish and then change up the game. But
maybe that was the
now,
whole point, like just to drive up the viewer ratings even more, you know.
maybe it definitely like makes us take a step back and be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You know, we don't have time. We have very little time to prepare for our next tournament because season 2 comes out. The mix-up in Leon, which is a master tournament, is literally the next day.
Yeah.
So it's like
crazy.
We have no time, but they're making that tournament season 1 because they realize, okay, it is too soon. So we'll just make the mix-up a season 1 tournament, which is definitely should be the case. But before that announcement, there was a whole speculation of like, wait, what? Season 2 is out and then tournament for the next day. But thankfully, that's not the case. But I believe SCR, I think, is in 2 weeks after season 2, and I believe that is a season 2 tournament.
So how does that work? You can actually choose by not updating, or yeah, of course, because you
I
don't buy
assume
it.
they're just going to cut off their consoles from the internet and just not update at all.
Okay, yeah. Okay, man. We're out of time. So,
sure.
As always, check out the Fergus stream at twitch.tv/Fergus2K, right?
2K, yes.
Yeah. And your Twitter at UYU_Fergus.
Yeah, that's the one, thanks.
And if you want to join the Gosu Tekken Facebook group, you can just go to gosutekken.com. So that's it. Thanks for this time.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. See you next time, man. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.